All right, man. Two peas in a bong in the building. It's your boy DP.
And it's your boy KP. How y'all doing today?
How you doing today? Is the question.
Man, I'm doing all right, man. It was hot, man. When the weather starts getting hot and shiny, man, the body starts feeling good, man. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, man.
Did you put feet to earth like you always
The
telling me
ground
you gotta do every now and then?
I didn't do the grounding, man, but that's a good idea, man. I'm gonna have to get out there. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'll do some grounding.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the hot, not the hot concrete, in some
Nah,
dirt
nah,
and
nah.
grass, man.
Yeah, in dirt and grass, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, heck no, I ain't got nah. The old folks used to tell us, man, you walk on that concrete barefoot, that's how you get a tapeworm. You don't want to get that tapeworm, man. So yeah.
Oh shit, man. So shit. What's good, man? What's going on with this portal that opened today?
Ooh, man,
What do
portal's
you been?
wild, man. I predict it's gonna be over 2,500 NCAA players that get in. So here's the thing: it's the men's port. The men's portal opened up today. The women's opens up tomorrow.
Mm,
Now, the unique thing about this year's portal is that they're about to go to revenue sharing for NIL deals. So, what's happening is that you're about to see a bunch of players go into the portal and try to find a landing spot prior to April 7th,
hmm
because if you can agree to terms prior to that date, then you don't have to take part in the revenue sharing. What you agree to is what you get. And yes, if anyone's watching, I just really dropped a nugget because everybody doesn't know about that. That's
So so what's going on with the revenue sharing? What would be the difference in somebody, doing that and not having to do it?
so what happens is that you have your collective through the school that pays the school, that pays you whatever, but then
Hmm
there will be a separate governing group that oversees the way that the funds are allocated, and they have to agree to the numbers that you negotiate with the coach or collective, whoever you discuss the numbers with.
hmm
And so at that point, let's say that it's something astronomical that you're requesting, it's probably going to get shut down, and and it's just more red tape and more investigating why you need that much money. Why do you need that? Versus right now, there is no red tape. There is no investigation on why you need the money. It's either you agree to the terms or you don't agree to the terms.
Mm. So
So
right now the numbers are just whatever they decide to give you. You're
yeah,
saying when they start this revenue sharing, it has to be this money is allocated or purpose for this particular
yes,
thing. So
yes.
what
So
what what would that look like? Like room and board, books,
no, that's your scholarship.
house.
No, that's your
Okay,
scholarship. Yeah, your
okay.
your
So
NIL is totally different from your scholarship. So like
so
case
how
in
does
point,
how does the so how does the NIL? Because some kids just get NIL, right?
it's rare, but
Okay.
it can happen if you're not on scholarship or they don't have a scholarship for you, but the school has NIL, they can give you NIL. Yes.
All right,
It,
but you were saying case in point.
case in point, I'll use a player because it was broadcasted everywhere. A player by the name of Coleman Hawkins. Coleman Hawkins played for Kansas State
Hmm
last year. Kansas State, the collectives, and Hawkins representatives, whoever they were, agreed to the terms of 2.5 million. And so that's what he got to play
Which is
1 year.
crazy.
Yeah, he got to play 1 year at Kansas State. Some may say he didn't deserve that much. Some may say he did deserve that much. Whatever side of the fence you're on doesn't matter. He got it because that's what was agreed upon, in addition to his scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So his room and board was paid for, his food was paid for because that's part of the scholarship deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your NIL, which is totally separate. Um, and so now, well, I mean, and so that was last year. This year, the money went up for schools. So
Mm-hmm.
there's more NIL money. However, they're also starting the revenue sharing, um, which changes the way that the money is going to be allocated amongst the players on the team. So, but that takes place after April 7th. It's either on April 7th or after April 7th. That will take place at that point. So, if you decide to hit the portal and negotiate a deal, or even with your same school, if you decide to negotiate a deal and the deal is done before that deadline, you were locked into that rate that you agreed upon for that particular year. So if you lock in a rate of 1.7 million prior to April 7th, well, that's what the school has to pay you. And you all discuss, okay, is it going to be monthly payments? Is it, and how long the monthly payments extend? Are they going to
Mm-hmm.
extend to May? Are they going to stop in April? Are they going to stop in March? Whatever it is, whatever the terms are, you have free reign to negotiate that with the school. So, but
Why
once
did
that,
they have Coleman's deal go public? Why was it even in the public?
you know what? That's a good question, man. I
That's
don't know.
kind of.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And honestly, and to his defense, man, that was something that he said that he got a lot of unwanted slander,
Mm-hmm.
and that he felt bad throughout the course of the season because Kansas State subsequently underperformed and they didn't make the NCAA tournament. So there were people, calling him out, and that part of the game was messed up.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, then there was another player like Great Osabor who played for Washington, who was said that he signed for 2.3 million. That was before Coleman Hawkins deal went through, and that was with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So, a lot of money was tossed around last year. As I said, the amounts went up. So, you could conceivably have someone that signs for 2.7 million or takes a deal like that prior to April 7th.
Mm.
That can conceivably, yeah, that can happen. Now, what's happening though is the guys that are getting those astronomical numbers like that, that's a position thing. So it's mainly bigs because it's a shortage of bigs in the NCAA world right now. So Great Osabor, power forward center, Coleman Hawkins, power forward center. But that's kind of the trend that you see. The higher paid guys, or what some people would say the overpaid guys,
Are the bigs?
are the bigs. Yes.
Okay. Man, I was all this money going around. They also got these. Did you see the "Don't Be a Loser" campaign about
No.
gambling? You didn't?
No.
Okay, they got this like "Don't Be a Loser" campaign, where they're talking about all the sports betting.
Hmm.
Because you could bet on college games, and they got the players' names on, all these platforms like
They, they,
DraftKings
they
and
do
FanDuel and all that stuff. So you can
something to,
actually, yeah,
something to
tournament
stay away
games, all
from.
that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
something
they're
to stay away from.
saying that like, players are getting what made me thought about it is when you said Coleman was talking about all of the hate and all of that shit that he was getting because he was getting paid all that money and they didn't perform the expectations or whatever. So, when you got somebody and you got some parlays or you pick somebody on the fantasy thing to get a certain amount of points or rebounds, they don't do it. And then, you got these people going and harassing the players on their pages and all of that
Oh
stuff. And you
man.
bum, you suck, and all of this stuff. So they launched this "Don't Be a Loser" like anti-harassment campaign for like sports betting surrounding
Oh man, good
college
for them.
sports.
Yeah, good for them, man. Like, um, college players are still amateurs, and they need to be protected. Don't treat them like NBA and overseas professionals and G League professionals because they're not the same.
Hmm.
I know that they're making money. I know that they're getting money, but they're still not pros. They're
No,
amateurs.
that's true. I mean, you already had people. People have always been complaining about student athletes, and there's a lot of times it's people who aren't student athletes
Yeah,
where they're like, "Well, you're already getting you know a free education
yeah.
and all of that stuff." But there's more that goes into it, like which is the reason why we're talking about all of this NIL stuff because they're making a ton of money off of these sports.
Imagine a world. Imagine a world where some of these people that are saying this stuff, that are teachers and janitors and lawyers and all these things, that we start pocket watching them and saying, "Hey, man, you're already getting this money. Uh,
Hmm.
you need to be in here. You need to be making sure all these children can read. You're a teacher, right? Or,
Hmm.
or you need to be in here saving lives and coming up with concoctions to help prolong life." And like, it's ridiculous. It's only in the world of sports that people feel entitled to comment on what somebody else is making. It's ridiculous, man.
Well, I mean, and also you got to think if you're talking about which is why I asked why they made Coleman's situation public. Most times in sports, with the basketball teams, football teams, and all that stuff, and we're talking professional now, they make the contracts public.
Yeah.
Like what people sign for is already like so and so got a 5-year deal for 365 million,
Yeah,
or whatever it is, and they're
yeah,
like, God damn, you getting all this money. So
yeah.
yeah, you got people who are automatically like, what? So, and anybody will say anything nowadays. Like people, will talk junk. It happens to us too. Like in these comments, like people get on here and you say something they don't agree with, whatever, they have something to say.
I think with the Coleman situation, it was probably a thing like the NCAA wanted to give people an idea of how much money is actually being made.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they used him because he made the most.
That's
And
crazy.
it's a double-edged sword. It's like it's a good thing that, yeah, because you made the money, but it's gonna also come with a lot of hate.
So you're trying to say that there was good engineer in the building.
What up, engineer?
So are you trying to say that they were trying to put it out there to show like, hey man, we're taking care of these kids now,
Yeah,
so there should be no kind of complaints about
absolutely.
them not getting paid and all of that kind of stuff?
Look at how well we're treating our athletes.
Yeah,
Look at that. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Because I mean, before Coleman Hawkins was broadcasted, it was Great Alsabar who was at 2.3 million, and it was an article saying that he was the highest paid player ever, and
Hmm.
then came Coleman Hawkins.
Okay. I wonder how much the program grosses over the basketball season and ticket sales and all the student store sales related to basketball and all of that stuff because they're selling kids jerseys and stuff now too.
Don't forget about ESPN coming on
Yeah, the
ESPN and
deals.
yeah,
Yeah.
because that's really where the bulk of the money comes from.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah. The television deals.
yeah, yep,
Yeah, yeah. I
yep.
mean, that's what kind of changes the salary lines when you're talking about like the NBA and NFLs
Mhm.
when the TV deals come around.
Yeah, the TV revenue
That's
deal.
that's when they start talking about we need more money or
Oh, absolutely. And matter of fact, there was actually a lawsuit. There was a class action lawsuit against the NCAA with the TV revenue deals. So if there were athletes, it extended up to players that were on a college roster as of October 2024. So both of my sons were eligible for it.
Mm.
And so it's a class action lawsuit. You put your information in, and then at that point it gives you an idea of how much money you're owed.
Hmm.
So it was some people, they've been in college for 4 or 5 years. They were entitled to like 250,000 dollars. Like, yeah, it was crazy. Like it depended on how many years you were in college, what conferences you played in. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
and stuff was, yeah, it's no joke.
Must be nice.
And it was one of them things. It was, I'm gonna tell you, in the world of college sports, it gets real. It's also it's heartbreaking because I'm a person like, if I have some information that'll help you and your family, and me and you were cool and our children played together growing up, and we've been in different cities and stuff like that. We've broke bread. I've been to your house, you've been to my house. I'm going to share information with you
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to help you. It's going to help your child. And likewise, I would hope that you would share information with me. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm not saying I'm calling random folks like, "Hey man, guess what?" I'm not saying that. I'm talking about people that I've been around. And so when that situation happened, I reached out to maybe 3 or 4 people,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, "Oh yeah, we submitted our information." And I'm like, "Damn." In my head, like, y'all ain't even let me know.
Yeah.
Like I had to find out another way. Shit.
Everybody ain't the same, man.
Yeah, and then there were, and then afterwards I was like, it just made me, it forced me to take a step back and say, "Damn, I see how this is.
Yeah,
I
but
see how people."
I wouldn't let the way other people handle stuff change the way that you handle stuff. So if
No,
you are,
no, 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 no.
yeah, if it's
It's
your
not.
nature to do
It just
that, then I would still continue sharing the information so you could help people out. So,
it just changes my expectation on, you know what, I have to find out stuff for myself because people, I
oh
can't
yeah, yeah,
rely
yeah,
on
yeah.
folks
Do
to
your
tell
own
me.
research. Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah. No, I
absolutely.
get that. Yeah,
And which, I was doing that at first anyway, but it's like, yeah, I don't expect you guys to tell me.
man.
So yeah, cold game, man, cold world.
How long does the portal stay open?
30 days this year. So April 22nd is when it closes.
What happens to kids who don't get any, like they jump in the portal, they don't get a deal with any new school, can't
Well,
return back to their school, then what? What's
no,
the
you so to my understanding this year with the way that the portal is that the school, when you jump in the portal, the school is still on the hook for your scholarship until you find a new school.
oh,
So if you
okay.
don't find a new school, like, you're still a student
So
while
they
you're
have
in the
to
portal.
automatically take you back for the next year though?
Yes,
Oh.
to my understanding, yes, they are on the hook for it. And that was I was listening to a coach. There's like an assistant coach that coaches for Bakersfield, Cal State Bakersfield.
Mm-hmm.
He gets on social media and he often says stuff. And this was something that he talked about last year. Uh, he drops a lot of nuggets, and but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was where I first heard it.
Okay.
Um, for me, we haven't got to the point of portal with me and my children. So it's not something that I've had to look into. And I know that the portal's open and it's like, yeah, time ain't on your side, but
Mm-hmm.
we're still in season. So when you're still in season, we're not thinking about portal. We're thinking about getting through the season and then, having a meeting with coach. And when coach, lets us know where and how he sees my son, then we can make the decision. But as of
Okay.
now, you just take life one day at a time. Like, got another tournament and we're committed to playing in that tournament. So we're practicing and doing everything we need to.
Do you mind saying what that tournament might be?
It's the crowd, baby.
The crown.
That crowd.
So you got the NIT,
Mm-hmm.
the CBI,
Yep.
the NCAA tournament, the big dance, and
Mm-hmm.
then the crown
And the CIT, baby.
and the CIT. Is
Yeah.
that what is it? The Crown Invitational Tournament?
No, 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 no,
I'm like,
no,
what
not
is
the
that?
count. No, there's
College. Go ahead.
invitational tournament. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. That's another. Yeah, CIT,
So
CBI.
CIT, NIT, CBI,
Yeah, yeah,
NCAA, and
yeah.
Crown.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Shit. Uh, I guess that gives people more opportunities, man. Well,
Yeah.
how you feel about the Crown, though?
Um. Shit. We being honest, man. I think that the NCAA is gonna have to fix this, man. I think that it's at a bad time of the year. Now, I don't blame them when they first set the tournament up because it sounded like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're playing in Vegas in front of college scouts.
Okay.
So
Are they
that's
trying
all
to make Vegas the destination for every year?
for the crown. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
and that's the thing. Like Vegas is an easy place for people to come in and out and look at players.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of AAU tournaments go down
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
You
but I
know,
mean,
like,
like some of these schools though, like they in I think you my son played at Utah State. No disrespect to Utah State, it's not airport friendly. Like it's as far as shit from the airport. I think it's like an hour and a half or something like
mm,
that, or 2 hours.
okay.
So it's like it's not weather friendly. Vegas is warm. You fly. The airport is on the strip pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So you get off the plane. You're already on the strip. Quick ride to the MGM Grand because that's where it is. They go into the MGM Grand and everything. It's all inclusive. Everybody's there playing. Like that's pretty damn easy and pretty
Mm-hmm.
convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So yeah, and then when you look at some of the different conferences, that's where they have their conference tournaments. The WCC has theirs in Vegas. The Mountain West has their tournament in Vegas. The Pac-12 used to have theirs in Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
men and women. So Vegas has been a hub for quite some time for conference tournaments, and that's it's been friendly, it's been convenient for NBA scouts to go and to watch. But back that I was saying, I think the idea of it was good. Playing in front of NBA scouts, more
Mm-hmm.
games, more exposure. Um, the the different conferences that are participating, the Big Ten, the I believe it's the Big Ten, Big East, Big 12,
Mm-hmm.
those three major conferences being in there. That
Now, are those the only teams that got the invitation to the
no,
tournament extended to them?
no, 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 no.
Okay.
It's mid major conferences as well, but I believe
Okay.
those three conferences got two teams that got
How
automatic
many in
invitation.
total?
16 teams.
16.
Yeah, so that's enticing. The fact that you can get more NIL money for winning the crown, that's enticing because now players are getting paid to win. Like that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things sound great. The only problem with the crown tournament is the first game starts March 31st. The transfer portal opens March 24th. So you're talking about a whole week that the portal is open. And so you had some teams that opted out of the crown because players are either going into the portal or
Mm-hmm.
our players are declaring for the NBA draft. So like
Mm-hmm.
you take a team like Rutgers. Rud A lot of people would have wanted to see Rutgers because Rutgers has, two potential lottery picks.
Right.
But Rutgers opted out of the crown.
Mm.
So it's like with
So
with
players have to. It's crazy. Players have to buy in.
it's
Like
business.
players, it's a shift, dog. It's like
Yeah,
the players really have more say so now. They really have more power now, and I'm
absolutely.
not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
It may be hard for some people to process.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like But yeah, it's just
Coaches though, is it hard for the coaches to process though? Because they are
I think so.
they,
I
but
think I think it's hard for them too.
I don't know what was uh West Virginia's coach bounce.
DeVries,
Yeah,
yeah, Darian DeVries,
DeVries.
yeah,
Yeah, he
Darian
bounced
DeVries.
bounced to take the job in Indiana.
Not just bounce, put up a fuss. We should have been in the
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah. And then in the the
We're gonna
next
look into this.
right, then he's
Yeah,
gone.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I'm saying I say that to say a coach can say I'm out of here. Like I see a better opportunity, you know, either I want to get, have a buyout for my remaining years on my contract, or I just want to, I'm moving on. Just like that. What's
I'm
nobody ever really trips on that, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy when you talk about that. So Sean Miller, I don't know if you remember Sean Miller. Sean Miller used to
I
coach
do.
at Arizona years
Uh-huh.
ago. Um, fired from Arizona, found his way at Xavier
Uh-huh.
University in Ohio, and had some up and down seasons at Xavier. Xavier just made the tournament. I don't know. So that I believe they were a playing team, and they won their playing game, and then they played a team in the first round. Do you remember the team that they played in the first round?
Who they play in the first round?
They played Texas in the first round,
Mm.
right? So they beat Texas I believe they beat Texas in the first round, and I want to look it up and verify it to make sure that I'm not saying the wrong thing.
Because
But
Texas was in the play-in this year.
okay, okay, Xavier was not in the play-in. Texas was in the
Yeah,
play-in.
Texas was in the play-in.
Okay, who did Texas play in the play-in?
Ooh, that I don't remember.
Was it
I'd have
Xavier?
to. I don't
Or
think it
yeah,
was. Was it? I don't think it was.
yeah, yeah.
It
Was it? Yeah,
was.
Texas lost.
Okay.
Yeah, Texas lost to
Oh
Xavier
yeah,
in the
yeah, by 6.
yeah,
86 to 80. Okay.
yeah. So Xavier made it to the tournament, um, and I believe Xavier lost in the first round. And I just want to verify who they lost to in the first round because the story is going to get interesting. But just okay, they lost to Illinois. They lost 86 to 73 in the first round to Illinois. So the Xavier coach Sean Miller beat
Mhm.
Texas. Texas coach was Rodney Terry. Rodney Terry got fired. After Rodney Terry got fired, and Rodney Terry got fired a couple days ago or something like that. Rodney
Mm.
Terry was fired. Well, Texas needed a new coach. Guess who they got? Sean Miller.
I was going to say Miller who just beat
Guy
him.
that beat him. Yeah, guy that beat him to get into the NCAA tournament. It's a cold game, man. It it is a cold game.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the coaching carousel nobody is tripping on like that.
Not at
You
all.
don't I you really don't hear people complaining about coaches bouncing.
No, you don't.
Not the way they complain about, you know, the portal and the
Man,
and what's happening with the kids and shit.
man, I'm gonna tell you some real shit, man. So, what up, Bong? um,
Yeah, shout out to Bong. Bong in the building.
man, there was a coach. I'm not gonna say no names of no schools for the for their for to protect them and to protect me. But there was a coach, man, that was selling this school so hard, like, oh yeah, yeah, we love your son. Can't wait to see him. Like,
Hmm.
okay. The coach came to Arizona and was like, yeah, I want to see you. I want to see your son work out. Let's see him work out. I'm like, oh, okay. So the coach was like, well, shit, I'm busy. I have to leave soon, but I could open the gym for you. So
Hmm.
he opened the gym for me. So I put my son through the workout. The college coach is watching me work him out, and we doing stuff and going through stuff. And he's like, yeah, man, loved him, man. This is oh, it's gonna be good, man. Just want to stay in contact. I'm like, oh, okay. That was March, right?
Hmm.
Man, we hit the Adidas circuit. I seen this coach a month later, and he's wearing the polo of another college. I'm like, man, what the hell?
Just like that. That's what I'm
Oh
telling
man,
you. Like,
yeah, like what? And he's like,
yeah,
do you think you guys would be interested in coming to this side of the United States? I'm
yeah.
looking. Of course,
And
I have to play the game. Like, yeah, we interested, but
uh-huh.
no mercy. I mean, like, not mercy. Just no shame,
Right.
no shame. But was selling this school up and down. Like, oh man, he'd be a great fit for what we've got going here. And then a month later, out of there. What?
Mm.
Yeah, just one of them things.
Yeah. I'm down with the portal. Support it.
support,
Yep.
support him.
Supportal.
Yeah, support him. Get a shirt that says support him.
Supportal. Yep. Shit got my support.
Yeah.
And
Um,
maybe that's just because, coming from like former student athletes, we feel like we wish we would have had something like that, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
but it's some people who are former student athletes who didn't have it and are hating.
Bitter,
Yeah, they're
bitter,
bitter
bitter,
about it,
bitter.
right?
I mean, I
I'm
mean,
I'm like, nah, man. Like I wish we had it, but you know,
well, let me say this, man, because back in the day, you could transfer. Like you've always been able to. No, you've always been able to transfer,
yeah.
but
But what's the
transfer was like,
cost?
yeah, but transfer could cost you career. It was like suicide.
Yeah.
It was like playing Russian roulette. And I there were a couple people that I actually highlighted to talk about and say these people started off and they transferred. The first person was Randy Moss. I don't know if
Mm.
you know Randy
Nah,
Moss
I
situation.
remember.
Randy Moss signed the NIL excuse me, NLI, National Letter of
Yeah,
Intent.
I was about to say, switch them
NLI.
letters around,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, signed the NLI with Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he signed with Notre Dame, he had the fight at school, and the fight led to a misdemeanor, all those things. And because of that, Notre Dame didn't accept his application. When they didn't accept his application, he was no longer admitted to go to Notre Dame. So then he ended up going to Florida State. When he went to Florida State, because he signed the national letter of intent, that was ruled a transfer.
Yeah.
And because of that, he had to sit. He had to sit a year. Like that was bogus as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then then after that, he subsequently got kicked off the team for marijuana, and he was able to transfer to Marshall since they were Division 1 AA, and was able to play right away with them being Division 1 AA as opposed to being an FBS. They were FCS. So
Mm-hmm.
he was eligible immediately. Had like 1700 reception yards, was ridiculous, and then came back the next year, had 1600 reception yards, like 25 touchdowns,
And he
and
was a hooper too.
yeah, he was an all American, and
Play with Jason Williams, right?
yeah, yep,
White
and
chocolate.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But you think about it, like Randy Moss situation, he transferred, and his situation was like career suicide. And he rose through the ashes because he
Yeah.
was just
I was
that
gonna say
damn
it could have
good.
been. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just that damn good. But even after that, he was picked in the first round, but he was a unanimous All American. There were only a few. There was only a handful of unanimous All Americans. He was one of them. He finished fourth in the Heisman race,
Mm-hmm.
behind Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning, and Charles Woodson. He did get the Biletnikoff Award. Like there was so many things that he had to achieve, and
Mm-hmm.
even after that, that he still wasn't the first receiver picked in the draft that year. Like, it just, yeah, funniness. The first receiver picked in the draft that year was actually Kevin Dyson.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
was a
no, I'm just saying, and we see what happened with Moss after that. Like,
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
I
You
mean,
took
but it's always one of those things where you everybody who's the scout thinks they know everything about everybody, but they really know.
yeah. What do you really? Yeah, exactly. What do you
I'm
really
not gonna
know?
say they don't know anything, but you don't know like the ultimate outcome of stuff. So
That's
there's
why I asked.
always gonna be somebody who's cooking that you didn't anticipate they would.
Yeah, another guy that I thought of with the transfer portal was Luke Recker.
Oh wow.
What's up?
No, go ahead.
Oh, Luke Recker, McDonald's All American, 1997, with with Baron Davis. That year, Baron Davis came out. I remember Luke Recker chinning and grinning the whole time in the cameras during dunk contests and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
um, went to Indiana, played under Bobby Knight. You know,
Mm-hmm.
was doing well his first 2 years in Indiana. Decided though that he wasn't progressing, he wasn't developing the way that he thought he should have or could have. And
Mm-hmm.
so at the time, he had a girlfriend. She was at Indiana as well. They had decided that they were going to transfer to Arizona. Now, granted, you transfer, you got to sit out that year.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
lose that year eligibility. Um, in the process, they were traveling, got into a terrible car accident, left his girlfriend at the time paralyzed for life. Person driving was killed, and the girlfriend's brother, which was Luke Recker's friend, he um he sustained real bad injuries as well, head trauma, and he's no longer the same. I think mentally he's still he's like a child now mentally. So very
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate situation. Um, with Luke Recker.
Mm-hmm.
So, because of the accident, he wanted to stay closer to his girlfriend who was in Chicago at a hospital being cared for. So instead of going to Arizona, he decided to transfer to Iowa where his father lived.
Hawkeyes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he decided to transfer to Iowa where his father lived. Um, they did grant it a hardship, special circumstances, and so he did get 3 semesters at Iowa, where he ended up playing. He had it was fairly successful after that. He did have some kind of injuries, like dislocated his kneecap, stuff like that, was able to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But, he was a McDonald's All American. And these shifts and all these things that happened caused him to where he didn't make it to the NBA. And he ended up playing overseas. He played from like 2002 to 2009. So he did play 7 years as a pro, but the trajectory prior to the transfer was much different. And in those times, players were playing 2, 3, 4 years and were still coming out and still being first round draft picks.
Yeah. Which is, I would think that's gonna happen more often now with the portal and NIL and kids deciding to stay longer. Especially if college basketball will remain your main source of recruitment. um these guys who are with these programs, like we had this discussion about the 5 stars and the one and dones versus the blended teams that have more veteran guys who've been there,
Hmm.
sort of like, let's say, a Rick Pitino type team
Yeah.
that's basically built through the portal. You will have those guys who have been in college for 2 to 3 years, or sometimes 3 to 4. Like I was saying, Caleb Love, I still think should be a first round draft pick. Whether y'all agree or not, like he's cooking. You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
Yeah.
to say, oh, he's 23, and to think like, oh man, that's old. That's it's crazy. It's crazy. But I get it. The NBA is young. You know what I'm saying? Is definitely younger than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Um, And even but even if you look on the other side and look at football, right? Look at
Mhm.
all the quarterbacks who stayed and came out that are like 23, 24. You know, Jaden Daniels is what? I know he spent what 5 years or something like that, right? He was like 20, 22, 23.
Mhm.
Don't quote me. I'd have to look that up, but um that's one of those things, man. Like uh I understand what you're saying about Luke Record, where it was kind of the day old pizza situation you're talking about, where you'll be in there for too long.
Yeah.
But and Daniels is 24. Jaden Daniels is 24. But I mean, I think that it would lead to be all the circumstances around the game now and the changes around the game would lead to more kids being older when they transition from amateur college level to the pros. Um, and yeah, so engineer says he's turning 25 this year, which is wild. But then engineer, I would say to you, like, yeah, he's turning 25 this year. Um, Quarterbacks are playing longer, right? Or extending their careers. Like
Yeah.
everybody's trying to chase the Brady years. You know, you got Aaron Rodgers, who unfortunately had the Achilles tear, but he's still playing.
Who
Um,
who was that old ass quarterback back in the day at Florida State? Was that Chris Winkie?
yeah, it was
Yeah, Chris
Winky.
Winkie was
Winky,
old as shit.
yeah, Winky. Was it because of baseball? Did he
Yeah,
play
he played
baseball?
baseball. Yeah,
Yeah, Winky
he was
played baseball.
he was a pitcher. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, how old is Stafford? How old is Matthew Stafford? Like 37 or something like that. I mean, I could see him playing for a few more years, playing past when he's 40. So I mean, if you look at Jaden Daniels, like his crazy second year in comparison to what quarterbacks, the age of quarterbacks before, he would be 25 this year. So going into the second year, 25. But if he plays that long, you're talking about having a guy for 15 years,
Yeah,
you
that's a
know,
long time.
at
Yeah.
least 10 to
Yeah,
15,
a
right?
long time.
How old is Stafford?
37. He's 37.
37. See,
Yeah. Good job, man.
my bad though. You were talking about record. You said you had a few guys that you were talking about when they transferred.
Um, shit, I even thought about my uncle.
Okay.
My uncle played under Wooden at UCLA back in 69, 70. Made the freshman team, and they had at that point so they had 12 guys on the roster, 12 guys on the team, but it was an 8-man rotation. And the long-standing joke, I got 7 All-Americans and Al
Mm-hmm.
Irby. He was the 8th guy on the rotation. So knowing that there were 7 All-Americans, the varsity team for 69 and 70, they only had 2 seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So that following year, you can only take 2 guys off this freshman team to play on that varsity team.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew he wasn't one of the top 2 guys because again, there was 7 All-Americans already. And so my uncle found himself in a situation where he had to transfer.
Hmm.
And this is going into, 70s, the 70-71 season. And UCLA being a powerhouse, a Division One, he couldn't if he transferred Division One, he's got to sit. So what did he do? He transferred to UC Riverside, which was a Division Two at that point, and he played, the rest of his years at UC Riverside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought about that. I thought about you. I thought about you in your 4-2-4 situation.
Which is crazy
Like,
because I mean it's a small world because Riverside, remember, came in to work me out and had me do a shoot around um when we were at the JC.
yeah, I
But
remember.
but the 424, I couldn't do anything because I had to finish the 2 years. That sucked. Had I known that, I would have probably decided, oh, I'm not gonna take this 4 year because it's not the one I want. I'll go JC first and then go. You know, because
Yeah,
I mean, you could have played just a year of JC as a full qualifier, just a year of JC, and then leave and take the scholarship to a 4 year and play your 3 years out. But
Absolutely. The
all those
technicalities.
all those rules, man. And
Yeah.
if you don't know as a kid, if you don't know, like you talking about, I graduated high school 17,
Hmm.
17 years old. Starting in college 18. You don't know all of that stuff, man. Like, so it's, guidance is key.
Absolutely.
And in this world with all the wild rules with NIL and all of this stuff, like I would just hope that these kids get with folks who have their best interests at heart, because money makes people do crazy shit. So,
Absolutely.
you know, you talk about getting caught up in the system and caught up in the rapture of the rules back then. Don't blink.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But a couple things have been said since we've been bumping our gums, man. So engineer back with the QB situation says the issue with QBs, it appears to be a mental rep thing. A lot of QBs who still have a good arm but not a good processor. Um, yeah, I mean, and when we talk about rules of the game, just think about the speed of the game as
Yeah.
you level up, right? So like when you go from high school to college, you know, kids are bigger, faster, stronger, and I mean, KP, you've seen this with your kids, not just when you play, but also with your kids. You can see conference by conference, athletes are different,
Yes.
faster, stronger, quicker, all that stuff. So, like, to what engineer is saying, if you don't have a good processor, if you can't think the game, you can have all the ability in the world, but that's gonna be a hiccup. It's gonna be a hurdle that you're always having trouble getting over. Um,
You know what, DP? Give me 1 second. I want to turn this light on because it's starting
Yeah,
to get
go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing. So Bong, I don't know, Bong, if you said you're still in the building. Um, so you're talking about who's the 31-year-old rookie that you were talking about? So I know we were talking about old rookies, and Kevin mentioned Winky. But you were talking about Whedon. I think Whedon was Oklahoma State, right? I'm trying to look it up real quick. Was he out of Oklahoma State? Hold on. Yeah, Whedon out of Oklahoma State. Up, and you know what? That ties into engineer, because Whedon was with the Texans. Yeah, Whedon was with the Texans.
engineer, man.
Um,
I met one of your quarterbacks back in the day, man, for the Texans. Sage Rosenfels. I met him. He was in we were both living in Minnesota, and I found myself we was at the gym, and I didn't even know who he was. We playing basketball. We kind of matched up because we was close to the same size, same height.
mm-hmm,
So we just kind of playing. He's kind of bumping me, and it's like, oh man, what college you go to? I'm like, I went to Arizona State. I'm still not. I'm not getting the clues that he's sizing me up and trying to figure out who I am. And he's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I like hanging out in Scottsdale. What you know about Scottsdale? And I'm like, yeah, Scottsdale, whatever. We weren't big on hanging out in Scottsdale.
mm-hmm,
And then finally I realized, like, okay, they keep calling this dude Sage. Like, oh, this is Sage Rosenfels.
mm.
And yeah, and then I finally teased him. I was like, hey man, what the hell was going through your head that game when you were playing the Indianapolis Colts?
What
Oh,
did he say?
oh man, he looked at me just with the look of disgust, like, oh man, you saw that game? I was like, yeah, I saw it, man. I
Mm.
remember. He was like, oh man. He-
The
Rosie,
Rosencopter himself.
yeah.
Hey,
He
but
was like, oh man, that's a game I wanted to forget about.
engineer says, isn't baseball notorious for this? Guys start late in the MLB. Yeah, I think they get drafted really young though.
That's because they ain't got to run fast in baseball at these positions.
Well, I'm
You see these
you know,
baseball bodies? Baseball players got dad bods.
but they get drafted sometimes out of high school though. Like if I'm not mistaken, I know they get drafted at a
Some of
young
them do.
age,
Yeah, some of them do.
and they go through the minors, and then when they feel they're ripe and ready to play, in the major league, they'll call them up. But I think Whedon, which I remember, he was a baseball guy too. I just didn't know exactly where, but he was the Yankees' first pick from
Mm.
what I'm looking at right now, back in 2002.
Oh, wow.
But he got traded around, went to the Dodgers and stuff like that. I think ended up in Kansas City. But so his late start with football had to do with his early start in baseball. And
Mm.
then when he was done with baseball, he decided he's going to go to college and play. And then that's why you have what Bong says, a 29-year-old rookie.
Mm.
Um, so, but yeah, I mean, that's some talent though. I got to respect it. If you picked up for multiple sports, like you
No, it
going to the
is.
majors in baseball, and then you know, but these guys now they're not necessarily playing a different sport before they get drafted. They're just
All
taking
in.
advantage of those the COVID years that they had and all of that kind of stuff. So that's why you see these guys been in college for like 7 years and all that kind of stuff. Which I'm saying, KP, you were talking about how the rules will change, right?
Mhm.
As far as them going to you just get 5 years to play.
Yeah. I think they're gonna pass that rule in April. It seems like
Okay.
every year in April, they pass another rule. So last April, it was the unlimited transfers.
Mm,
So you can transfer to this school, this school, this school, and never have to sit. That was passed last April.
okay. And I mean, with that being said too, then it's also a situation where you're looking at um 5 years versus 7. You probably won't be seeing these kids who've been in college
Not
for,
necessarily.
you know.
Not necessarily
Also, you
because
think it will be? Well, because
because
you still got your medicals, right? Like
exactly.
medical red shirts and
Exactly.
all of that
Exact
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm,
You so
okay.
you starting out with 5 regardless.
Yeah.
A medical red shirt, it just adds another one. So now you
Now,
got
when
6.
when we say 5, does that mean you can actually be on the court, on the field,
Yes.
playing 5
Yes.
years?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Game
man.
changer.
It is. It
Game
is.
changer and really hurts high school recruitment.
It does.
Really,
It
yeah,
really
like
does.
really hurts high school recruitment. I mean, um as you said last night, I'm gonna go off your phrase, the olive branch. The olive branch was no eligibility for playing on the JUCO level.
Yeah.
That's the olive branch. Okay, go play JUCO. Go play NAIA. It's not going to count against your eligibility. You're still getting quality coaching. You're still
Which
developing.
which makes sense to me because and it's I wonder why we just didn't challenge it back then. Why it wasn't, and maybe it was challenged and just shut down back then, but you got to think like the NJCAA and all of this
Yeah,
other stuff, like they are different governing bodies that have nothing to do with NCAA. Like the
absolutely.
NCAA doesn't rule over junior college. So
Yeah.
why does that affect your eligibility for a completely different organization? Like it
I
doesn't
mean,
make sense.
you want to get in shape, man, and try to give it a go, man.
Oh
I'm down
man,
if you down, man.
hey
We get in
man,
shape, man.
we passed our
Hey, hey, man,
well
listen.
past our time,
Shit,
brother.
I get out there and set some picks, man. Like,
All
damn,
right,
he
well,
getting people open.
I could still cook. I'll shoot a couple jumpers.
I'm setting picks. I'm hard
I'm
fouls and setting picks and
I'm good
rebounds.
for a good 5-7 minutes.
Yeah, give me 8 min hey, man, listen, give me 8
Hey,
minutes. You'll have 6 rebounds, 3 hard fouls, and and my plus minus is gonna be off the
hey,
hook.
I
You
I'll give
getting
you
good look.
like six points,
I
3 assists,
Hey, man,
maybe.
listen, I don't even know if I'm shooting the ball, man. I
Well,
may not shoot the
if
ball.
you setting a pick, I'm coming around it.
Yeah, alright.
Uh,
If I'm
nah,
shooting the ball, it's because of the rebound putback. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm
nah,
getting
that
straight
that would be
garbage,
crazy.
man.
Who was there? Was that one guy? Who was that dude that went back to play football? He was like 50 something. I can't even
I
remember
remember
his
it was a
name.
few years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
you may see that though. You may see some of these older dudes like, man, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Like, fuck this. I'm trying to get to this NIL.
I remember years ago, J.R. Smith said him and Braun were talking about like joking around, like, man, we should do that because they still got their NCAA eligibility.
Yeah, but I
They're like,
thought if you were professional, you can't go back to
wow,
to.
it's a different sport.
Yeah, I'm saying to you. You're talking about football
Yeah,
or okay? Yeah, all right.
yeah, yeah. Go, yeah, because J.R. Smith was a safety in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
possibly.
yeah. Like, could you
Hey,
could you
hey, did you see LeBron's quarterback was duck goosing. That nigga was just throwing the ball like man, if he would have had a like a serious like, you know, legitimate quarterback, he could have been doing some damage. I'm talking about LeBron.
nah, he was all state.
I'm saying
Oh,
like
yeah.
some did you have you seen the highlights?
Yeah, when he's going across the middle and the one
Yeah,
where he
like
pitches on 2
yes.
guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The fade. Yeah, the fade.
Come
Yeah, I
on, man.
saw it.
I could have been out there quarterbacking like
I Go get it, bro. Go get it.
yeah. I thought
Yeah.
J.R. Smith was trying to do golf though.
He did do golf,
Oh, he
but he
did do it.
yeah, he did do golf. He did.
In college?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, competed in college on the college level.
How did that go? I didn't hear much about it.
I stopped watching it. He used to have a show.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a show. I don't know if it was on Amazon Prime. It was on something, but he used to have a show and it was talking about that.
Hey man, I ain't mad at it. Like take advantage of your abilities while you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, oh, what you don't like your sound, man? You
Nah, 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 nah.
okay?
I just said I'm holding the mic. I set it down, so I just kind of picked it back up. But man, we were I said we were going to talk about the NCAA tournament and kind of go through
Hmm.
the tournament and
Yeah,
and
my brackets fucking sucks. Um,
South Carolina.
South Carolina State's running back. Who's that, Bong?
Oh, that's is that the
This,
55-year-old?
let's see. Is this how old is he?
I don't know. You telling me to guess or you?
No. I'm asking
Oh.
Bong. He just said South Carolina State's running back. I don't know. We could circle back to that, but okay. Let's go into the tournament, man.
Um, in the West, let me see. I want to make sure it's the West region. I don't want to. Oh no, it's the South region. Oh, Joe Thomas. He said, "Yeah, Joe Thomas sound old."
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the guy.
Yeah.
The 55-year-old guy.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
The
Ye-
damn, he's playing running back.
Yeah, and had the
You-
nerve not to wear 55. You should have wore number 55. He wore 42. And if you don't get they're like, yeah, here's your jersey. 55.
Oh no!
Man, what his stats looking like?
Damn.
Did he get any carries,
Hey
man?
man, could you imagine him having to pick up the blitz in practice? Oh my gosh, and the running back just running full speed. Joe, get
Hey,
in there.
put him on special teams, huh?
Oh,
What are you doing?
oh
Joel's
man.
out there tackling his damn self. Get him out of there. Nah, he has no stats.
Mhm.
So it looks like he made the team, but I don't see any stats. All right,
Joe,
hey
stop
Joe.
rubbing around. Stop rolling around in the grass. Get your spat dirty. What are you what are you doing,
let
Joe?
me let me get in shape and go try to play some football, man. Shit. Joe knows football, huh? We need to make a Joe knows campaign.
Oh man.
Um, but nah, so the tournament, um,
The South region, man. You got Auburn and Michigan.
yeah. And you said you have Michigan winning that.
I got Michigan winning that game. Man, I think
Okay.
I think that Auburn is gonna be the first one seed to lose. And before anybody looks at this and is like, "Ah, man, you hating on Auburn." I'm not hating on Auburn. I've watched Auburn. I think Auburn is an elite team,
Mm-hmm.
but the way that Michigan is constructed is just, man, they're tough to beat. They can go super big, pause. They can go small. You have a 7-footer coming off of screens from a 7-1 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's tough, man. And so, watching them play live in person and then watching them throughout the course of the season, they're just, yeah, they're a team that is just tough to beat, man. They can beat you on the three, they can beat you running, they can slow it down. Just it doesn't matter. So I like Michigan in that game.
Okay. All right. Um, I took Auburn.
Okay. I'm not mad at
Um,
yeah, I'm not mad at that pick.
but crazy. Let's see. I had everybody except for like St. John screwed me up.
Oh, Ole Miss messed mine up.
Okay, and then I had VCU, but I think what's the name took care of them early.
Yeah. BYU.
BYU. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Um, okay. Well, I got Auburn winning that.
Yeah, see, I have Michigan and Michigan State playing against each other to go to the Final Four.
So I have in my final four Auburn,
Mhm.
Maryland,
Mhm.
Arizona, and Utah.
And Utah.
I mean Utah.
I'm like,
Houston. I don't know why I
I'm
said
like,
Utah.
whoa.
Houston.
Yeah. Okay.
Utah. Houston. I'm sorry. Houston,
Mhm.
Arizona, Maryland, Auburn.
So mine was a toss up between Michigan and Michigan State, but I ended up going with Michigan. I also took Florida, um, Houston, and Duke.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey man. Technically, my final four is still alive.
Yeah. So I have 3 out of the 4 number ones. And just, again, the only number one that I didn't have going was Auburn. Um, but yeah, Michigan State, Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michigan State is tough, man.
No,
They
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 are.
they, they run. Um, really like I really like Izzo as a coach.
Yeah, Izzo is still
Uh,
getting it done, man. God,
yeah,
gotta respect it.
yeah,
I
like
mean,
it.
but I don't know who's on his staff.
Hmm.
But this is no shot at him. I'm just saying, as you go through the years,
Hmm.
things change, and you have to be
Absolutely.
adaptable. And I think a lot of that also has to do with the staff that you select, your support staff, like your assistant coaches and stuff like that. And
Absolutely.
they never really get the credit like that. Like you only know Izzo
Never.
when it
Yeah.
comes to Michigan State, but I'm pretty sure as far as like relating to those kids and the new times and all of that stuff, like that a lot of that is done by, not to say that he doesn't, but a lot of that is done by the assistants,
One of
you
the
know.
things I like about them, he's been in Michigan State so long. He's been there for years. Um, they have culture over there. Like, they have a culture, and the one thing that they do is the seniors, when they're coming out of the game on senior night, they
Mhm.
go to half court and they kiss the half court, they kiss the floor. And he calls them out one by one and allows the crowd to give them a standing ovation. Like, it may sound cheesy to some folks, but I have an appreciation for that.
You're saying this is done every game?
This is done on senior night. So
Oh, senior night.
the last night.
I'm like,
Um,
damn, they walking out kissing the
no,
floor
no,
every game. What the fuck is this?
nah, nah. I so
Yeah, look at
I mean, engineer said
engineer.
that's a little weird.
I might be with you. I don't know if I'm kissing the floor. Like,
Man, listen, man. If that's the culture, because you left it all on basically you left it all on the floor. It's the blood, sweat, and tears, and the time that you put in at Michigan State. Um,
blood, sweat, and tears, and your lips.
he said, "Do they power wash that floor?"
Are they power washing it? I don't know. They better do
Like,
something, right?
but it's like, so they had that. So it was a situation where was Anton, I think his name is Antoine Kaysen, or the last name is Kaysen, plays for Michigan, and there was another player that played for Michigan. They decided that they were going to walk to half court and get in the way of the Michigan State player going to kiss the floor.
Mm.
And one of the Michigan State players pushed the Michigan player, like, man, get the hell out the way, and pushed him. And, the referee stepped in. And the cool thing is that the referees understood that it was culture and
Hmm.
understood what happened, didn't give the Michigan State player a technical foul, just told Izzo, like, hey, man, he's upset, pull him out the game. We're going to, talk to Michigan, make sure the Michigan players move, and we're going to allow you guys to carry on your culture,
Hmm.
how you guys see it fit done at Michigan State. So I just thought that whole thing was neat. I think that it's neat that your Michigan State alum are at the games. Mateen Cleaves was there.
Mateen
J-
Cleaves is always there.
Jason Richardson was there. Now he's there because his son plays.
Yeah, his son plays. They're talking
Uh,
about his son hooping at going to the draft this year. You think he's ready to go?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's gone. He's gone. Too young, too much upside. And his dad, Jason Richardson. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we know the pedigree.
How tall
So
is he?
about 6'4",
Okay.
about six
I didn't
four,
know. I didn't think he was that tall.
left-handed. One of the neat things that Izzo did though too was sometimes Izzo would have a lineup out there and it would be four lefties at the
Hmm.
same time. You had Cohen Carr, their freakish
I was
athlete
gonna say,
lefty.
is Carr a freshman
No,
or
he's a
a
sophomore.
sophomore?
He's a
Sophomore.
sophomore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free lefty. Jason Richardson's son, lefty. Um,
So, are they all leaving?
no, they're not all.
You think Carr's leaving?
I don't think Carr is leaving.
Okay.
I don't think Carr is
Do
leaving.
you think he should?
He probably could test. I don't
Okay.
know how. So let me say this: I don't know how his skill set is because you don't see him with the ball in his hands.
Right. How much
Yeah.
better will it actually get? I
Well,
think what he does for them is what he's gonna do for them.
I'm saying just on the next level as a pro.
Yeah,
I'm
but I'm
saying,
saying where he's at now, what he
yeah,
does for Michigan State
yeah,
is
that's who he
probably
is.
what he's gonna do
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Michigan
that's
State.
yeah.
So should he go now or should he continue
And
playing for Michigan State?
that's why I said it depends on where his current skill set is. Like, just because he doesn't display it for Michigan State doesn't mean he doesn't have it. So he may get
That's
into the I'm saying, so I'm just saying, so if
I feel you.
he may get into the combine and then you see like, oh, he's got a pretty good looking shot. He can actually shoot some, or oh, he can actually dribble and he can pass and he could do this.
What if
If
he gets there and he's junkyard dog and he's just more athletic and more explosive, but he's your hustle man, your grade A hustle man?
then you have to then, I mean, this is what I would say. If I'm him, then it's one of those things where it's like if the numbers look better as a pro, like you can get a guaranteed contract
Mm-hmm.
as a pro, and you're not fighting to get into the league to where you like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If you're not on that situation in that situation, then absolutely.
Because let's look at a guy like Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
Is he skilled?
To a degree he is.
Okay.
Like cuz
He
he could
he's
cuz he can comfortably handle the ball to get to whatever spot he needs to.
and is he knocking down jumpers? Would you
No.
call him okay?
No, no,
So
no.
his ability, his scoring ability,
It's
and his
predicated on his
offensive game is predicated off of his on his
athleticism,
athleticism
his physical ability.
and yes, him just bullying people.
Yes.
So um with him, it was
Mhm.
kind of what you see is what you get, right? So I mean, is what makes you think Carr has more in the arsenal?
I would say that Zion's athleticism and his strength was
It's different.
probably, yeah, it was bar
Yeah,
none something that only few players have had.
right. It's different, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
say
I
it's athleticism though. It's
yeah, it's
athleticism,
predicated
and
on,
he's
yeah,
like
absolutely.
so Carr is their guy, the athletic, the
Yeah,
athlete. He's the best
yes,
athlete that they have.
yes,
And I'm just saying that Zion was the best athlete Duke had. Maybe
yes.
the best athlete in, the game at that point.
Mhm.
Um, but Carr, what if it's that type of situation where,
Call
to me, it's the only thing I say is like, I know that there's sometimes where, oh, you did, because you use Jimmy Butler as an example, right? Where
Mhm.
it was like Jimmy Butler didn't show you everything that he had in his bag, but um in most cases, how many guys are like really not showing you?
The majority.
Yeah,
The
I'm
majority, yeah,
saying like you've been watching
yeah,
basketball for a
yeah,
while.
the
That's all
majority.
I'm trying to get at. You've
Yeah,
been watching
yeah,
basketball
the
for a
majority,
while.
the
You
majority.
played, you've been
Yeah.
watching, you know who can do
Shit.
what pretty
I mean,
much.
we played pickup with NBA players and all
No,
that.
yeah, for
You look at
sure.
NBA players like, damn, I didn't know you could do all this.
Yeah.
NBA guy? Okay. Okay. Um, no, I agree with you. But I think the difference is with Cohen Carr and Zion Williamson is that Zion could get you 20 on any level based on his athleticism and was always put in a position to do that.
Hmm.
Whereas Cohen Carr has never been put in a position to get you 20 off his athleticism. He may get you 6 to 8.
Which
And
which sounds like an athletic junkyard dog.
yeah, it is. But I'm just saying, so I would just say those are the differences between those two guys.
And people are probably like junkyard dog.
No, no,
You know.
I mean that respectfully.
No, no,
Like
no. I do too.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'm just
That like
saying, like, people don't
we
know
need
who
a
Jerome.
junkyard dog.
Yeah, they don't know who he was. I'm saying some
Yeah,
of these young folks are probably like, you calling them a junkyard dog.
yeah.
Like, nah.
I mean, but the young folks respect dog, and at the end of the day, he's a dog,
Yeah,
and in a respectful manner. We talking
yeah,
about dog, DAWG.
yeah. And I'm trying to see how tall
I think he's six
Jerome
five.
Williams was.
Oh,
No, how tall
wrong.
Jerome Williams was.
Six
The
nine.
junkyard dog. Hold
Like
on.
I thought he was like 6'9".
Let's see. Yeah,
Six
six
nine.
nine. Yep.
Yeah,
So that's different too. He's six
yeah,
nine.
yeah,
You know. And you said Carr is 6'5"?
yeah. He's like 6'5".
You got to show way more.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I
you're
mean,
not gonna
tremendous
be no
player,
six
man.
five
Yeah,
power forward.
tremendous player though. Tremendous
Oh yeah,
player.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Really gonna help a team. That's why I said the skill set.
yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
So in that case, it would be like, you would hope that they would help him develop more.
Yes. Yeah.
So he could be more all around. Um,
Yeah,
oh, your squad lost to
the
the
Magic.
Magic.
Uh,
118-106. Orlando over the Lakers.
how magical. Hmm.
Right.
the Hey man, we got ass whooped by the Bulls the other day. It was awful. Oh my gosh,
Uh,
bloodbath McGrath.
they'll get it together though. You know,
Oh no,
how many games are left in the regular season?
I have no idea, man. About 7, I'm venturing to say.
Okay. They should
But
be good.
but yeah, man. So you said you got Maryland beating Florida, man?
Yeah, I had Maryland in my final four, man,
Damn.
in that
No, no,
bracket.
no. I'm saying they play this next week.
Yes, nigga,
Maryland.
Maryland's in my final four. What is so of course I have them beating them.
Yeah. Okay.
Maryland's in my final four. I had Arizona beating Duke.
Hmm.
Yep.
Interesting.
So, that's
Yeah.
just I was only able to get to doing three brackets, man. I only did three of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Everybody can't do 25.
Hey,
I
I
don't
didn't
I
have
don't
the
know.
time.
Listen, I don't know if I could do 25 again. That was a lot.
Yeah, I
At
didn't
some
have the
points, I
time.
was just like, let me take this 15 seed. Let me take this 14 seed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I think I had Ole Miss I think I had New Mexico winning in one, like being an upset. And crazy enough, New Mexico played Michigan State tough early,
They did.
and they didn't have enough down the stretch.
I like the point guard for New Mexico, man.
Dent,
Donovan Dent. I
yeah,
like him.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's solid. Hey man,
yeah.
True Washington has improved.
It's my guy, man.
Yeah, he's
Shout out to
improved.
True.
Like he definitely looks like he has more confidence. I think I told
Yeah,
you that earlier this year.
you,
Like
you,
when I
you
saw him,
did.
I said, "This dude looks like he's comfortable now."
You
Like
you
he is.
did. He's gonna have a good college career.
Yeah,
Quiet is
yeah,
kept. Like he's
yeah.
he's gonna have a good college career, real good.
How tall is he?
About 6'3". About six.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's a lefty, right?
yeah, he is
Yeah,
lefty, athletic. Gets in there, fights for rebounds, battles. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Now here's the thing, though.
hmm
Will Dent stay in New Mexico?
NBA, he's gone.
You think he's leaving?
It's the draft. He's
Okay.
gone. Yeah, he's
He
gone.
was he was the only player I think they said to average 20 points and 6 assists.
Yeah.
Only player in the nation. Yeah.
Yep. He's out of there, man. He served his time. Time well served.
Okay.
He put in 3 years.
Damn, it's been three.
Yeah, he put in 3 years.
Okay.
Graduated from Corona Centennial, and yeah, been there.
So he's a 3-year guy.
hmm
Where do you see him going in the draft?
I mean,
Because we've been talking about going too early, staying too long.
late
Where does Dent go?
late first round, early second round.
Okay.
Yeah. The To me, the problem with Dent, and I don't think it's a problem. I think that the NBA is kind of moved past the pure point guard.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the same value that they had years ago.
Yeah.
And
It's not as much respect on Chris Paul's name. I was talking to you
exactly.
about that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
man, it just seems like what Chris Paul can do
hmm
is still effective.
It
It's
is.
still efficient.
It is.
He can set you up, get you open shots, clean looks, and it's just up to you to knock them down. The issue I think with the way that the NBA is played, the game is played now, is he would dominate the ball
Yeah.
most of the time, and they would rather exchange that for multiple shots.
Yes.
So we want to get up more shots, and we don't want you dribbling the air out of the ball and then passing it to a guy for an open look,
Yeah.
even though it's open. And it's the way we've been all,
That he's mastered making.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
it,
you're getting the right guy taking the shot, but you're taking a little too long on
yeah,
the setup.
yeah. So, but Dent would have to, you're saying like be more aggressive offensively, like
Um,
scoring a little more or shoot the ball better?
I think he needs to shoot it a little better, but I think it's just more so he's more of a Chris Paul type of point guard, and I think that they don't want that.
Mm.
So that's where I think the knock is. I think that if it were 10 years ago, Donovan then easily goes in the first round. That's what I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, it's almost like it's forcing these kids to, hey man, you gotta learn the skill of shooting the three.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta shoot the three.
I want you to be offensively assertive, but you got to play off the ball more as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I don't want you on the ball so much. I know you can do pick and roll and you can do it all day and knife through and snake through, but let somebody else do that and find yourself as a spot up shooter in the corner. And like, that's what I think it is more so with him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I like him. I like
Yeah.
Donovan Dent a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at Orlando today,
Hmm.
and they were making a lot of back cuts and some V cuts and old school cuts to the
Hmm.
basket, and they were open. People just weren't passing the ball because I don't, people just ain't looking for that stuff no more. It's crazy, but they not
Yeah,
looking for that stuff no more.
can't
It was
stand that.
it was
Then,
Isaac who was actually doing it, and he was
oh
open.
man, damn.
Yeah,
Then it
but
gets discouraged, and then the one time you don't cut, they like, man, why didn't you cut? Like,
yeah, yeah.
man, I done cut 30 times, man.
And Bong says when resting players goes wrong, Lakers barely have cohesion on the floor, but believe they can rest 5 to 6 players at a time. Um, they have been doing this down the stretch lately. And I think, well, when we talked last night, I was saying that part of that is because LeBron had the groin injury and Doncic, I don't really know what's going on with him. I think he just has lingering ailments and they're resting him for the playoff run.
Yeah, just getting ready. Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't. The Lakers believe that they can win anywhere.
Yeah, I think they do. I think
Yeah,
they do believe that. And, maybe it will be a detriment because of the cohesion issue Bong is throwing out there. That could be a problem because I mean shit. I don't know that they really mm, I can't say that they haven't gelled well with Doncic because they're winning games.
they've had some good moments.
Yeah, but do you think it'll be consistent enough for the playoffs?
Before I answer that, I want to verify how many games they have left, and I can tell you.
Okay, but yeah, they are. But what's it? Rui was hurt, so
Yeah.
that's the reason why he was out. Um, you know, he said Bong said every time they take the floor together, it's like their first time.
Oh, you know what? I said 7. They still have 11 games. So
Okay.
I think that's enough time. I think
Okay.
that's enough time to get it together. Between that and practice, I think the Lakers will be all right.
Seeding wise, where are they right now? They're number
Ooh,
number
stand.
2 or 3. I thought they were up there.
They're tied for 4th.
Fourth. Okay.
Yeah, they got them and the Grizzlies are tied for 4th.
Okay. And that I don't know about the Grizzlies, man.
Yeah.
I don't know about I think they need more.
Oh,
I think they
absolutely.
need more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Um. Go
mm,
ahead.
now I'm sitting there looking at this like, damn, man. The Timberwolves are in the play-in game. Man, that's nasty.
Yeah. Off. Well, that Carl Anthony Towns trade hurt them more than it helped them. I think. And Randall. Speaking about people who haven't been playing, Randall just recently came back, so they still gotta gel together and figure things out. So I don't know.
Damn, I really thought that the Golden State Warriors were going to be in the playing game. I'm sitting there eating my words right now. They're a game ahead of the Clippers as the 6th seed. The Clippers are the 7th seed.
Okay. Yeah, the Clippers, man, don't get me started. They did better than I actually thought, though, because I told you I didn't think they would even be in the playoff picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll take whatever good comes with them. But they gotta make some changes, man. I don't see them being true contenders
Contend.
right now. Just the way the roster looks right now. But I
But
don't
what
know.
direction do they go with the change,
Yeah,
though?
that's what I was saying. I don't know what you can really do at this point. Uh,
Norman Powell?
if you're looking at the trading, that would be what you. But then when you trade him, what do you get in return? You got to bring some scoring back. Like James Harden is more of like a facilitator.
He's still
He
scoring.
he can, but he's turned into more of a
And
facilitator,
I don't think he would mind taking that role on. Like, oh
scoring
yeah.
again.
Yeah, like
Ka-
yeah, yeah, baby.
Kawhi Kawhi Leonard has been cooking lately, but it's just a matter of his health is still that issue still stands. But
Absolutely.
but man, look, it's been real, man. I gotta get up out of here. I might end up jumping on here later, man, to talk about some boxing or something. If I
Okay.
have some time. Um, but I gotta roll out, uh, start picking folks up from practices and all of that kind of stuff. So,
Okay. No problem, man. Well, it was cool, man. And yeah,
all right,
let's
man.
get back on soon, man.
All right, two peas in a bong without bong, but bong is actually in the chat. So two peas in a bong,
Absolutely.
man. We out.
Like, share, and subscribe. The Holy
Wait,
Trinity.
wait, wait, wait. Bong, if you there, can we get you to send that in the chat so we can post that? So you are actually telling the folks what
What
we
to
need
do.
them to do.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's there. We'll give him a minute.
Come on,
Come
Bong.
on, Bong. he probably jumped out when we said, "Oh man, we about to wrap it up." Let's see. Let's see. All right, Bong, man. All right. Go on and tell him, KP, on behalf of Bong, what do we need him to do?
And Bong's words. We need you to like, share, and subscribe. The Holy Trinity.
There you go. There you go. All right, man. We out of here.
Peace.